Alright, so we gotta talk about Edo Tensei Naruto. This form is amazing, or would be amazing. Just imagine, right? We've read the prior chapter, that's Boruto chapter 51, and it was implied that Naruto is gonna die based on the new form that he has. I've already made a video on this, and I think that Naruto is not gonna die because of this form, based on what we heard from Kawaki in the future, and some implications it has on the story itself. So that'd be pretty interesting if they kill Naruto, right? But yeah, I don't think he's gonna die, and even if he does die, I think that Sasuke will sacrifice himself and use Ren Rebirth to bring him back. But there's some question about whether or not Sasuke can actually survive Ren Tensei if he has enough chakra. So we have to get more information on that. But today we're gonna talk about if Naruto actually died, would they bring him back using the Edo Tensei Jutsu or reanimation Jutsu or whatever you want to call it. So I think I can pull up the actual name of the Jutsu. Let me just pull up the page here. It's called Summoning Impure World Reincarnation, right? So I'm just going to read the definition for you guys so you guys can understand what it actually does. So as explained here, the Summoning Impure World Reincarnation binds the soul of a deceased person to a living vessel, restoring them as they were when they were alive in order to do their summoner's bidding. It was originally created by Tobirama Senju, sometime after which he declared it a kinjutsu. Orochimaru would discover the technique decades later and improve upon its use, while his subordinate Kabuto nearly perfected the use of the kinjutsu. So all in all, this jutsu is stated to be one of, if not the most powerful jutsu in the entire Narutoverse, because of how effective and overpowered it is. So for you guys to understand what I'm saying here, when you revive someone using the Impure World Reincarnation or Edo Tensei or Reincarnation technique, this person comes back with the same abilities they had before they died, the same hacks, the same Kekkei, everything they had before. Now it's also stated, and this is good to note, please note that the person is not brought back at their same level of power. Now, when it was done by Tobirama, they were really weak, but Orochimaru actually improved upon this jutsu and was able to restore the persons or the people he revived using the reincarnation technique to closer to their original power, and Kabuto almost perfected this jutsu and they were brought back with even more power. As seen with the first Hokage, you can see the difference with their power now in the four Great Ninja War, as opposed to when Orochimaru brought them back in the beginning of the Naruto series. So this is actually shown in the series and it makes a lot of sense. Now, Kabuto being as advanced as he is now in the Boruto series, and Orochimaru as well, you would have to assume that they have a way to bring back the user at 100% by now, right, in the Naruto universe. So guys, just imagine Naruto, right, dying because of this technique. As I explained, the technique is going to kill Naruto. And if Naruto is gonna expel all of his chakra, he's gonna merge with Kurama. And this is basically what we're assuming is going to happen. I'm assuming that Kurama is going to die and Naruto is gonna die because his tail beast died, right? And he's a Jinchuriki. So I think Naruto is gonna die of basically chakra loss. The same thing a Jinchuriki dies from when a tail beast is extracted from them. So it's like a life source being removed from your body and it kills you. So I think something like that, something similar to that is gonna happen to Naruto. I don't think he's gonna die, but that's the only way you can explain it. So if he does die and Naruto is brought back using Edo Tensei, then Naruto can use that form, because when someone dies, right, they come back with all their abilities and all the powers they had up until the point of their death. So Naruto would be able to use this ability without the risk of dying because he's already dead. And he'll also have unlimited chakra because that is also provided when you get reanimated. So guys, Naruto will be overpowered. And that's only if Orochimaru or Kabuto have managed to basically increase the power of the reanimation technique and allow the user, the person they reanimated, to come back at 100% of their power. And I mentioned this technique in a Facebook group and we were talking about it and we were discussing it, right? And everyone was saying that, Naruto wouldn't be able to come back with Kurama because Kurama would have died and it's gonna take, umpteen years to basically get revived, because, when a tail beast dies, they eventually come back, but only after maybe a decade or two, maybe a century or so on, right? So I have to explain to them that if you actually watch the Fourth Great Ninja War, you saw Minato come back, and Minato came back, what, 16 years after his death, right? And he came back with Kurama, right? He came back with the other half of Kurama that he had. So if Naruto dies, he's going to come back with Kurama as well. And this is not going to be like Naruto coming back 40 years later or 100 years later. No, he's going to come back maybe a day later or so, because that's typically when they would use the reanimation technique to basically fight off Ishiki so they can protect Kawaki. Like this technique can actually be done immediately after Naruto dies. And you'd have to assume that Orochimaru or Kabuto already has some of Naruto's DNA, right? It's impossible for them to reach at this point without some of Naruto's DNA, so they would have his DNA in order to reanimate him. So the only problem here we have is them actually sacrificing a living being to reanimate Naruto. Now we know that we still have the Zetsus running around in the Naruto universe, and I'm 100% sure, trust me, I'm 100% sure that Orochimaru has a few Zetsus lying around in his basement or whatever he works in his lab, right? Or maybe Kabuto. So if Naruto does die, they should be able to bring him back at full power based on what they're at, the level they're at in the scientific ninja technology and all this lovely stuff, and the new breakthroughs they've had with chakra on a whole, right? And you also have to look at it like, if this form is as powerful as we're led to believe, if Naruto is actually going to challenge Ishiki in this form, maybe even overpower him, right? If this actually does happen, and you bring back Naruto using Edo Tensei, and he comes back with unlimited chakra, he's basically immortal, and he can actually use this new form without the risk of dying, and actually at a higher level because he'll have unlimited chakra. So this version of Naruto, this Edo Tensei Naruto, would actually wash Ishiki, right? If this version right now of Naruto that's alive actually stands up to Ishiki and defeats him before dying, then Naruto, Edo Tensei Naruto that has unlimited chakra and immortality will wash Ishiki, right? So guys, you have to look at this holistically, right? So this will be amazing if this actually does happen. Obviously, I don't want this to happen because I actually want Naruto to stay alive. I think Sasuke is the one that's gonna die, maybe not. And I have a very funny video coming up because we're gonna talk about this meme that has been going on and going around on Facebook about Hinata and Raikage. And trust me guys, it's gonna be funny if Sasuke is the one that actually dies, and all the Naruhina fans are gonna go wild on Facebook, and they're gonna be taunting the what do you call them, the Sakura and the Sasuke fans. I don't even know, but they're gonna go wild on that couple, right? They're gonna say that Raikage is gonna be with Sakura, and it's gonna be funny as hell. So I look at that thing, everybody gets upset about it, but it's just a joke guys. It's a meme, it's not real, so just laugh and move on. It's not serious, trust me. So yeah, that's the video for today, but look out for that video because trust me, this is not gonna age well, because I think Sasuke is the one that's actually gonna die, trust me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Peace.